Hello, 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 Pokemon trainers. Professor Chime here. And I have a special little surprise for you. I'm playing the Spaceworld 97 Pokemon Silver and Pokemon Gold that had a bunch of unreleased cut Pokemon. It was a demo that they showed at Spaceworld back then, and the game changed completely, but there's a lot of really cool little tidbits, so I'm going to play through it. I'm not going to do the debug stuff. I'm not going to go into the deep stuff, not in this video at least. I may later on, but I just want you to see and experience it the same as I have. This is just a really cool little thing, and you can check out the link down in the comments if you want to give it a try yourself. I'm using the BGB game emulator. So, without further ado, let's get going. So, first things first, we know the game came out in 1999 here in America, so the fact that it says 97 is interesting. Also, a lot of things are in English, even though it's the Japanese version of the game. There's no music here, just so you know. This is not us missing out on anything. There's no music while this is going. We got Lapras, there was Magikarp, and Ammonite down below. So far, it's not too different from the version that you would see elsewhere. In fact, the Pikachu and Jigglypuff are very similar. They changed the animation slightly. Instead of the new evolutions, the new final evolutions for the starters, you see Venusaur and Blastoise to go with the Charizard. And now it starts up the music. So, this is Silver version. Now, in the Gold version, it even has the same Ho-Oh image. Alright, so we're going to give it a second, because there's a little extra tidbit that shows up if you let it sit for a minute. You'll see the fire and all that. Sometimes it's music notes. But there's a little mini-game that you can play where it's Pikachu running and picking up music notes. Very similar to, like, it makes me think of the Google, when your Google Chrome is messing up or your internet's out, you can play the little, like, T-Rex. It's very similar to it, but it's Pikachu running after music notes instead. Let's see. So it's going to go through it all again. I think it has to go through it a couple of times, but I'm pretty sure it's a weird little Easter egg. There we go. So you can jump here. It's really just a little mini game, and it's all about catching the music notes. There's no rhyme or reason to it, honestly. You get to Jigglypuff at the end, and that's that. There's no real reason to it. So this is completely in Japanese, so I don't know the full translation offhand, but I can give you a rough guesstimate as it's saying things. This is start new game, basically, or start the demo. And then this is the settings menu. Anyone that's played the old Pokemon games recognizes this in a heartbeat. Alright, so we're going to start the game. It's going to be Professor Oak. And welcome to the world of Pokemon! Blah, blah, blah. This is basically his normal starting lines that you would see in the games. I'm sure it's a little different, especially since it's Japanese and it's the demo, but it's non-consequential, I should say, to anything. And there's Gold, or whatever you want to call them. Now, one thing I do notice first thing here is that there's 2 beds in the bedroom, because clearly your mom gets a bed and you get a bed. And that's something you didn't really see in the games later on. They totally made it where it was like just that. But I guess there's more to the bedroom than we realized. They do have the PC here. It doesn't do anything in the demo. One thing to note that's important is you cannot use Pokemon Center. You get some potions, you get healing items. In fact, your starting Pokemon does have a berry that heals it, I believe, 20 HP or 15 HP or something. But generally speaking, it's meant to be a demo, so when you run out of health, you're done and it resets. And the radio, it just goes on and on. Like, that was one time. One thing also to note, this is an N64 here, so that's a cool little extra tidbit. And then you have the Clefairy doll. You start with your Pokemon. So, this first section here is your Pokedex. Second one is your Pokemon. Third one, I believe, is your items. Yeah. First thing here, you get 5 Pokeballs. And then 20 HP, that's your potions. I have not tested this one yet, the third item. I think it's something like an antidote or something along those lines, or a paralysis heal or something like that. And I have not tested the single items either. I mean, it's meant to heal it. So you guys are in for a treat. I know what Pokemon we get. So the 3 starting Pokemon were a little different in this version. You have the Chikorita, which back then I think was just called Leaf. You have Cruz, which is a water type that is totally cute. It's like a little kind of seal-looking thing, like a seal dragon almost looking thing. And I gotta say, it's basically a precursor to like a Poplio. But then there's the final one, which is Flambert. And he's adorable. He almost looks kind of like a Pikachu. But he is not. Alright, so we have Flambert. And he is adorable. It's a little fire type, but you don't get any fire type moves to start off. I think it's something like Scratch that you start off with, so it's not going to show off his real potential here. He turns into Volbear and then Dynabear. And so you end up having this guy. Cruz turns into Aqua and Aquaria. Whereas Leaf had a very different middle evolution before it became what was called Blossomite, but it's Meganium. But Blossomole is like a middle ground, kind of makes me think of like a Celebi in a weird way. Alright. So, let's get moving. Since it's a demo, you don't have to deal with professors, you don't have to do much. Like, even the mom basically is like, just leave, basically. I'm excited for you to go on your Pokemon journey, that kind of thing. You'll notice that this is called Silent Hills, I believe, in this version. But they changed it due to trying to avoid a legal battle with, I think it was Konami. Over their game that was just coming out called Silent Hill. So this is basically New Barktown. It's very different than any other version. There's a Pokemon Center up here, which New Bark Town does not have one. It's a very, very strange Pokemon Center, but the people will talk to you, which is good. I don't understand anything they're saying. The PC doesn't actually do anything in this version, so you're blocked off from using the Pokemon Center, like I mentioned earlier. This is down here. This is, I'm assuming, the Pokemon lab, which when you try to enter it, it asks a question, probably, you know, where is the professor, or something like that. But you'll notice it actually forced me back into this tile here. This is probably like Rival's house kind of thing. So when you go out, this is tall grass right here, right from the get-go. You can encounter Pokemon here. I'm hoping that during this demo we're going to encounter one of the weird alternate versions, like alternate reality versions of, you know, some of the favorites out there. There's some interesting ones. But, there we go. Look at this pink Marill. Back before it was even, like, Peekaboo. So, because I want to encounter a couple other things out here, I don't want to waste my health too much. We are going to try to catch the Marill, but it's going to try to attack me. There we go. It's not going to do too much. In theory... Oh! It actually had a berry attached to it, so it actually fully healed from that. So, wild Pokemon have held items in this game, which is an interesting extra tidbit to know. I forgot to mention that. That is a very cool little thing. Especially here in the very first area. Alright, so we're going to throw a Pokeball. Oh, and it broke out. That is actually the first time a Pokeball has failed on me in this game, so that's cool. Or not, I should say. There we go. So, we caught it. The Marill, which is very cool. It's number 179, which, by the way, just so you know, 179 in reality is Marill. There is a version of Marill that's within the code of the game. I don't believe we have the option to catch it, but it is Marill in everything except name, and it's called Boss Spark. And that is an adorable name. I gotta say, both are fine by me. Interesting thing, you can, if you chose to, name your Pokemon. I don't know Japanese, so this is all Japanese characters and numbers, so we're gonna name it... nothing. So... oh, this is cool. So, Girafarig. This is an alternate reality version of Girafarig here. In the final version, the tail side of Girafarig is much smaller and looks more like a tail with a face on it, like an evil-looking face. But in the original version, it made sense because Girafarig is the same backwards and forwards. So it actually makes perfect sense that the naming scheme works there. Ooh, I think that was a double slap. Alright, we're going to try to catch it. So this route has a lot of Pidgeys and Rattatas. I hope to at least see one of each while we're here. Number 194. I'm trying to remember offhand, but I know it's not Girafarig. Again, you can name it. I just accidentally hit it. You can actually go in the cave here. Except it's not a cave, it's actually a grassy area. So, we're going to use items to heal up all of our Pokemon. Let's see if we can catch some new Pokemon, some different Pokemon, or at least see them. Oh, so Caterpie, but that Caterpie is weird looking, so that's cool. Right now we're just in viewer mode. I just want to see. Another Caterpie. By the way, Pokemon random encounters are super easy here. Here's one of those Pidgeys I mentioned. It's just a normal Pidgey, but the sprite is, I think, a little different than it was in the final version. Yeah, random encounters are ridiculous here, by the way. And in this cavern, it's all Caterpies. I mean, I can't really call it a cavern. I think it's outside. Like, there's trees and stuff. There's another one of those Marills that I got earlier. Slightly stronger this time. I mean, I could be wrong. Some of these Pokemon that I mentioned could be able to be encountered. I have not seen them, but that doesn't mean they don't exist. Wow, so I didn't even move. That's another cool little thing, is you can get another random encounter. Oh, it's Pikachu! You know, I want a Pikachu. That didn't do much. Thundershock. Wish I knew what the other items were, but I don't want to screw up and use something that would have been important. So, we have Pikachu. Alright. Yeah, I moved one step and got an encounter. It is a Metapod with all those Caterpie around. That makes sense. So this is kind of a little blocked in area, it looks like. There's nothing around here except for patches of grass, and a ton of Caterpie and a Pikachu. Very Viridian Forest for this little patch here. Yeah, there's nothing, no way to get in or out here except for this one little area here. So that tells me that we need to go past that one guy, and he's going to want to battle, I'm sure. Another Marill. It's interesting that Marill used to be pink, especially knowing that he ended up becoming a fairy type. Oh, he does not want to battle. Oh, he does. You just have to talk to him. Okay, so I started that encounter. So he's Bug Catcher. It's a Venonat, a very different sprite than what I recall. Alright, this is gonna be Pure Absorb only does a 1. Might be Leech Life. I think that might be Leech Life. Either or, it technically does the same thing. Come on, give me a crit. Give me a crit hit. I just want to finish off this battle and move on. So, there's a trainer battle. And I turned to level 9 from it. Gave me 1,071 in money. So that's good. What's up here? A lot of dead ends in this cave, by the way. So, while we are looking around for Pokemon here, I'm going to avoid trainers, I think. And we're just gonna explore. But it appears that you can avoid trainer battles by not talking to them. So that's good to know. A lot of Caterpies around. Anything here? It's another Pidgey. Come on, show me something new and good. There's so many Gen 2 Pokemon in this game, and I'm not seeing too many. There we go. Let's see, what do we got? Another Pidgey. Yeah, so Gen 1 Pokemon are super prominent in this game. At least the base level ones. I was hoping that we might see Hoot Hoot. Would be a cool one to see. Another Pikachu. I assume Pikachus are rare, and I've already seen 2. What do we got? Something good. Another Pidgey. I think it's the same Pidgey. It's just following me around, isn't it? I can't escape. But also it's totally 20 and it'll do it when you're below 15. Alright, well, I'm forced into this battle. I think Gust might be the only move this Pidgey knows. It tried to attack and missed, that's what it said, I'm pretty sure. There we go. Force me into a battle, will ya? Let's heal. There we go. And to be on the safe side, we will heal the Pikachu as well. Because if we lose my starter, we cannot get him back. So I'm guessing this is a forest, even though you go into a cave kind of area for it. Leaving areas, yeah, see, like this is a cave, but that was totally a forest. Interesting. So I'm pretty sure that's supposed to be Silver. The rival. And that's it. We beat the Silver Spaceworld 97 demo. I am going to load up the gold one so you can see what the opening of it looks like as well as the border around it, which is kind of cool. Yeah, I actually really like this border, but then again, Gengar fan, so maybe I'm a little biased. So Game Freak presents. It's almost identical. The only difference is really the title screen, but I'm going to let it go through. I think that the demo was very cool. They had way too many like Gen 1 Pokemon that you would encounter in it. It was way too common to find a Pidgey or a Caterpie, but we did see some cool ones on when I played through last night myself on off camera. I also saw what was the precursor to Hoppip, which is a very cute little thing because it used to be like this little like cat plant thing. It was Mew. See, so gold version. I'm gonna let it sit for a minute. But yeah, I guess you can find things like Ladybuzz as well as evolve it up to a Trip Star if you're able to, which is basically a Ladybug but with stars on its back, which was the evolution back then. But yeah, Mew that I encountered, and it's adorable. It looks like a cute little like cat thing, but you can still see very, very Hoppip thought process in it. And it has a tail, and it looks like a cat with basically leaves on it, which is fine. And then it would turn into, was it Dandamew and then Katamew. Alright, let's see. Is it gonna give me the... Is it gonna give me the little bonus game? Yep. So we're gonna actually try to get 100. It's just a little mini game. There's nothing like special about it or anything. There's actually a bit of a pattern to it in a weird way. 189. It doesn't actually affect anything other than now there's music notes in front of Ho-Oh instead of fire. Which, cool. It's a cute little Easter egg. I don't know the significance of it offhand, but I think it's kind of cool. It's cute. Let's start up the game and see if it gives me a different starter real quick. Since it is completely random. Every time you start it up, it's a different starter. It's just the same things. The demo is identical otherwise. Alright, it did. It gives me Aqua. And this cute little thing here starts with 3 moves. I know that the first one is basically Scratch. I'm pretty sure the second one is like, I think it's like Growl. And then the one that's 25 is another status effect. Not status, stat effect. So like a tail wag or a tail whip kind of thing. Either way, you always start at level 8, and this thing is cute. I gotta admit. As much as I like Poplio, I think that this one would have been really cute as an early on stage, but I am glad that we got Totodile in this version instead in the final version. So, I'm torn. I feel like this would have been a really good, like, 3rd generation or, later generation Pokemon. Maybe give it a little bit more sprucing up. It is a little boring, but it is cute. Even if it wasn't a starting type Pokemon, I feel like they should have kept Aqua in like that. Also, of note, for the water type starter, you have Lapras as your icon here, whereas it was the like Rhyhorn monster looking icon for Flambear. And then Leaf actually gets a little Oddish sprite. So, cool. Thank you for joining me on my trip into 1997's Spaceworld. You know the drill. Check out my other videos. And don't forget to do the liking and the subscribing thing. Other than that, have a great day, guys. Stay cool. Pokeball, go! To my other videos. And then like and subscribe below.